Hey, Riley, can you do me a favor? I need you to lend me some money, like $2,000 right now. Wait, what happened? Why do you need $2,000 all of a sudden? What's it for? Well, there's a new designer bag that just dropped, and I have to have it. It's a limited edition, so if I don't buy it now, I'll miss out. Hold on a second. A designer bag? Do you really need something like that? Of course I do. If I have it, everyone will be so jealous and it'll look so amazing on social media. That's not the point. Don't you think that's a bit too shallow of a reason to borrow money? What? Why are you being so cold? We're family. You could help me out with something like this. Even if I were to lend you money, I need a better reason than that. Gosh, you're so stingy. No wonder nobody ever likes you. Don't you think that's a bit rude to say? Isn't the real issue here that you're not planning things properly? Not planning? You really don't know me at all, so cut the attitude, okay? You're seriously the worst, you know that? This isn't about personalities. I just don't see a good enough reason to lend you money, that's all. Whatever. Fine. Forget the money then. Can you at least pick up and drop off my kid at daycare tomorrow? I'm too tired to deal with it lately. Wait, what? Daycare pick up and drop off? You're just dumping that on me without even asking first? Dumping it on you? You don't have to say it like that. I'm telling you I'm struggling here. Can't you help me out a little? Shouldn't you take responsibility for picking up and dropping off your own kid? Everyone's tired, not just you. Wow, Riley, you're seriously so cold. I can't believe you just ignore someone who's clearly struggling. What kind of person does that? Yeah, well, maybe you should think about what kind of person you are. You keep shoving your problems onto others. Maybe it's time you take a good look at yourself. What? Are you seriously lecturing me right now? You know what? Forget it. Talking to you is exhausting. All you do is make me mad. Hey there. First off, let me apologize. Kind of. Sorry for leaving my baby with you for 10 days. But honestly, it was such a relief. Felt so free and light. I really got to kick back and enjoy myself. Thanks to you, I had an amazing beach trip. Excuse me? It's been a while since you last reached out. What's this about? Is there something specific you need? You've been completely silent for a while now. You're so funny. Come on, you're so awkward, you know that? It's kind of funny how nothing about you has changed. I'm not joking, and I don't understand what's so awkward about what I said. I'm being serious. Just so you know, I'm not your sister-in-law anymore since I'm divorced. We're no longer family on paper, so why keep contacting me like this? I appreciate the sentiment, but it's time to face reality. It's unnatural for me, and it makes things a bit awkward. Well, my parents are gone, and I don't have many relatives. You're the only person I can truly rely on. When I think of it that way, it's okay for me to lean on you, right? That's a completely different matter. Regardless of our relationship, pushing your own problems onto someone else isn't right. Oh, come on! Don't you like kids? Now that you're divorced and don't have children, isn't the timing just perfect? You should be happy about it. And really, I'm so grateful that you're loving my baby in my place. You know I appreciate you, right? Wait a second. Hold on. Let me sort out what we're even talking about here. You have this habit of pushing the conversation forward without thinking, and I can't tolerate it anymore. But seriously, how can you say something so insensitive? Have you ever considered how the other person might feel? Insensitive? What do you mean? I'm just talking normally. I have no idea what the problem is. You know, the reason your brother and I got divorced was because of infertility, right? For you to bring up something like this to me is beyond insensitive. That's why your words lack any consideration whatsoever. It's not that I was going to leave my baby with you. I already did. Why are you so angry? I thought this wasn't a problem. That's what I'm asking. What exactly are you talking about? Can you explain how it even came to this? Well, I had plans to go on a beach trip, and it's impossible to take a newborn, right? So I left the baby at your place. That's just what family does, isn't it? So I left the baby at your house. I mean, I left her at your doorstep. Did she catch a cold? Wait, but I live in England. What? I recently moved to England with my family, so I don't live in that house anymore. What? Are you serious? That's not good. Wait, so where's my baby? You've done so much for me. I can't thank you enough, James.
What are you talking about, Miss Johnson?
Thank you so much. By the way, I just got a message from Madeline. When I heard what she had to say, I was at a complete loss for words. I can't believe she left her baby on the doorstep without any contact and went on a 10-day trip. It's truly incomprehensible. James, I think Madeline should be returning soon, so could you handle the necessary preparations? Also, I'll start preparing for a temporary trip back myself.
Understood, ma'am. I'll take care of the baby and organize the house, so please rest assured.
I have to say, I'm truly glad I entrusted the house to you, James. I shudder to think what could have happened if I hadn't asked you to take care of things. Thanks to your quick actions, the baby is safe. Thank you, truly.
Ma'am, I've never seen such irresponsible behavior before in my life. When I heard the baby crying early in the morning, I was completely shocked. I never expected to find a baby abandoned at your front door without any care or consideration. Seeing the baby crying broke my heart.
I can't imagine what could have happened if you hadn't been there. Just thinking about it is terrifying. I'm so relieved that the baby is safe.
I appreciate your compliment. It's a miracle that the baby's body temperature hadn't dropped, despite being left exposed to the elements without even a blanket.
I see.
I can't believe someone would just disappear for 10 days and then waltz in to pick up the baby like everything's fine. I've encountered many people in my life, but I've never met someone as inconsiderate and self-centered as this.
It's surprising that anyone could get you this riled up, considering how patient you are. It really shows just how terrible Madeline's actions were. I only recently told Madeline that I'm living in England now, so she'll probably panic and show up there unannounced. But if she causes a scene, it'll be a problem, so please take the baby to my parents' house for now. I'll contact them myself and explain the situation.
Okay. Thank you for your swift response, ma'am. I'll get on it right away.
Thank you, James. We need to ensure she faces the consequences for putting a precious newborn's life in danger.
Your anger is completely justified, ma'am. For someone to abandon such an adorable baby on a doorstep, I also believe she needs to learn a serious lesson. Dealing with someone this unreasonable is both exhausting and harmful to one's peace of mind. Therefore, I humbly request that you pass along my contact information to her.
Hey, how dare you? What the hell is going on? Where's my baby? I went to your house, but there was some strange man there instead. What's going on? He is my butler, James. While I've been living in England, he's been taking care of the house. He's the one who rescued your baby. You abandoned your own baby for 10 days without a word, left them at my doorstep without even contacting me, and now you have the audacity to show up and demand the baby back? Unbelievable. Let me say this again. I'm currently living in England. It wasn't me who took care of your baby. It was James who handled everything. If you want more details, you'll need to speak with him directly. There's nothing more I can tell you. By the way, James has asked me to give you his contact information. You can handle this matter directly with him. Hey, How dare you? Do you really think you can get away with this? I know everything. You're the one hiding my baby, aren't you?
Nice to meet you, Madeline. I am James, the butler serving the lady of the house. I never expected to speak with you under such circumstances, but it's a pleasure nonetheless. Currently, the baby you left abandoned at the doorstep is being kept in a safe location. Following Miss Johnson's instructions, I am personally taking responsibility for the baby's care, so please rest assured. However, the baby was left exposed to cold outdoor air, and had the baby not been found sooner, the consequences could have been life-threatening. I must admit, I was both shocked and angered by the situation. Although the baby is currently doing well, I must express strong concerns regarding actions that so blatantly disregard the value of life.
Oh, save the lecture. I don't care about any of that. Just give my baby back. If you're the one hiding the baby, I'll report this as kidnapping.
You don't need to worry about that. We have already contacted Child Protective Services and the police, and we are authorized to care for the baby. Therefore, your claim of kidnapping does not apply in this situation. In fact, making such a threat will only place you in a more disadvantageous position. Furthermore, if you do report this matter, your act of abandoning the baby will be thoroughly investigated and held accountable. I suggest you keep that in mind as well.
What? I'm her mother. I just asked you to take care of the baby. Why am I the one being blamed here? I'm the victim in all this.
The victim, you say? That is a very intriguing statement. It is the first time I've met someone who speaks as if they are dreaming while being fully awake. I'm truly surprised that someone with such an otherworldly sense of reasoning exists.
Hey, enough with the mocking. I'm being serious.
My apologies. However, if you are truly serious, then it is all the more important to calmly communicate the facts. First, leaving a baby alone on the doorstep is an act that is highly likely to be deemed child neglect under the law. While you seem to see yourself as a victim, your actions not only caused significant trouble to those around you, but also endangered the baby's life. Acknowledging these facts is the first step forward.
You're blowing this way out of proportion. I came to pick up my baby, so that should be the end of it, right? And I just left the baby with someone I know. How is that child neglect? This is absolutely ridiculous.
Your arguments are nothing more than excuses that would not hold up to public opinion. Furthermore, you were fully aware of Miss Johnson's struggles with infertility, and yet you still endangered the life of an innocent baby. To do something so reckless and expect no consequences, that is far too unjust. You must face the punishment you deserve. Please accept the consequences of the pain you have caused Miss Johnson. I will do everything in my power to ensure that happens.
I have no idea what you're even talking about. You're insane. Just give my baby back. Hey, can you stop acting on your own? What does any of this have to do with you? Why did you have to go behind my back and report me to the CPS? Thanks to the lies you told them, now I'm being accused of neglect and abuse. This is the absolute worst. Even though I told them I didn't do anything, they won't believe me.
As I mentioned yesterday, reporting the situation to CPS was part of ensuring the baby's safety. It's only natural that they contacted you. In fact, you ignored CPS's calls for a whole week, and the staff said they were relieved to finally get through to you.
I didn't do anything wrong, so I had no reason to answer their calls. And calling me while I was on vacation? What were they thinking?
Your schedule is irrelevant in this matter. Lives take priority. I have been taking proper care of the baby and her health is in good condition. However, the security camera footage clearly shows you abandoning the baby at the doorstep.
I already told you. I just left the baby with someone I know.
Claiming the baby was left with someone you know is quite a stretch, don't you think? Miss Johnson has been divorced from your brother for 5 years now, There's no legal connection between you two anymore, and there's been no communication at all since the divorce. How can you even claim she's someone you know in this situation?
I know her, so that makes her an acquaintance, doesn't it?
That's quite an unreasonable excuse you've come up with. Well, whatever. Let's say hypothetically that you and Miss Johnson are acquaintances. However, you and I have never met before, have we? The person at the house was me, not Miss Johnson, which means your claim of leaving the baby with someone you know is invalid from the start.
That's because I thought Riley would be at the house.
You certainly have a knack for coming up with excuses one after another. It's almost impressive. Listen carefully. Your argument simply doesn't hold water. But if you still fail to understand that, perhaps it's time you see how those closer to you react.
What? What's that supposed to mean? You're unbelievable! How could you do something like this? Are you trying to ruin my life? Unbelievable! You told my boyfriend about the baby?
I deeply apologize. I was under the impression that he already knew.
Why do you even know about my boyfriend?
Naturally, I looked into it.
What? That's creepy.
And as for telling, I simply asked him a question. Your girlfriend has a child. Are you planning to raise the baby together? He seemed quite shocked and asked what I was talking about, so I explained the situation to him. It wasn't my intention to reveal anything unnecessarily, so please don't misunderstand.
That's basically the same as spilling everything. Because of you, my boyfriend left me. He said he can't handle raising a baby. You've ruined my life. Do you enjoy destroying people's lives? If I knew it would turn out like this, I never would have had a child. I didn't even want that baby. I only had it because everyone kept pressuring me, but it's nothing but a burden.
It's pretty ironic that this is coming from someone who not only puts their child's life at risk, but also seems to care very little about their well-being. Your thought process is truly beyond comprehension.
James, there's something I want to discuss with you. It's a little hard to say. Will you hear me out?
What is it, ma'am?
I just visited the baby at my parents' house. Until now, I'd only seen pictures or met her through a screen during online calls. But seeing her face up close and holding her in my arms, I've made up my mind. I want to take her in.
I expected no less from you, ma'am. I'd love to be there for this little one as she grows. Instead of sending her back to a parent who isn't fit, having you take care of her would definitely give her a much happier life. Madeline is far too irresponsible. It's clear as day.
Exactly. And on top of that, she said she doesn't even want this child. Apparently, she said she regrets having her and wishes she wasn't born. If we send this child back to her, it would put her life in danger. No matter what happens, I want to protect this child.
Understood. I will handle all the necessary arrangements and future steps.
Thank you, James. You know, that baby, she's such a precious little one. Why did she have to end up with Madeline? I wish I could have been the one to bring her into this world.
Are you all right, ma'am?
I'm sorry. I thought I'd moved past it, but I guess I haven't. Holding that baby, it brought back memories of them.
Please rest for now. The ones you carry may heal with time, but they cannot be expected to disappear overnight. You must be exhausted from your long journey. Leave the rest to me.
You're right, I will. Hey, are you seriously trying to ruin my life? This is absolutely unbelievable. I don't know what you're thinking, but thanks to you, I'm in a huge mess. Why do I have to go through questioning? Getting arrested is completely unjust.
What you did is a serious crime. It falls under the category of abandonment by a person responsible for protection, which includes leaving a baby behind. You claim that leaving the baby on the property was the same as entrusting them to someone. But abandonment is abandonment. In recent years, there have been tragic incidents where children left in cars lost their lives. What you did falls under the same category.
Don't compare leaving a baby in a car to leaving them at someone's house. And I made sure to leave the baby where it was obvious, in front of the door.
Yet you didn't even bother to wrap the baby in a blanket, leaving them exposed. This time, the situation was salvaged because I was there. But in a normal case, the baby could have been left outside for an entire week. Given all these factors, the severity of your actions is undeniable. That's why you ended up being questioned, isn't it?
That's right. They dragged me to the police station without even explaining anything. And I was detained for a whole day. And now they're telling me to come back for more questioning? This is insane. Why do I have to go through all this?
Go through all this? My. What are you talking about? You haven't even been punished yet. You're about to lose everything.
What? Hey, what are you going to do about this? Because of you, my life is completely ruined. How am I supposed to live now? I just got fired from my job. You better take responsibility.
Oh my, you've finally been fired, have you? However, blaming us for it is quite misplaced. It was your boss and company who decided on your termination, not us.
This happened because you ratted me out to my workplace.
I thought it best to inform them. After all, you're a daycare worker, someone entrusted with the care of children.
How do you even know where I work?
I looked into it. I must admit, I was quite surprised to learn that you were a professional caregiver. A daycare worker whose job is to look after children, abandoning their own child just to spend time with a new boyfriend. That's simply unthinkable. But as a daycare worker, couldn't you have at least used one of the daycare facilities affiliated with your workplace?
That would cost money. Leaving the baby with Riley is free.
Ah, I see. So that's what this was about. In that case, your actions were far too selfish. If I were a parent, I wouldn't feel comfortable leaving my child at a daycare where someone like you works. I'm sure the other parents feel the same. That's why I reported it. Isn't it misplaced to blame me for that? What you've done is something society simply cannot accept.
This is seriously all your fault. If I get arrested and lose my job, my life is over. You investigated my personal connections, reported me to my workplace. Why are you going this far? This is way too extreme. It's insane to go to such lengths for someone else's child.
You're right. It may seem extreme to go this far for someone else's child. However, my actions are not for the child alone. It's because you caused deep emotional pain to Miss Johnson.
It's not that big of a deal to leave my child with someone who can't have kids. Why get so mad?
It seems you've conveniently forgotten the truth. The reason Miss Johnson and her husband divorced was indeed due to infertility. But that infertility stems from the fact that Miss Johnson suffered a stillbirth.
What?
Miss Johnson's child, unfortunately, never had the chance to be born into this world. She held her baby in her arms, who passed away during childbirth. For someone who knows the pain and sorrow of losing a child, your actions, forcing your baby onto her and endangering that baby's life, are something she will never forgive.
I don't care about your forgiveness. If you want the baby so badly, take it. Just let this end.
Miss Johnson has already begun the process of adopting the baby. Perhaps the child reminded her of her own loss. She's deeply determined to protect that abandoned baby. If she has resolved to protect the child, then my role is simply to eliminate any harmful presence from their lives, both legally and socially. Your opinions are irrelevant. No matter what you do, you will only be a source of harm. Until you are out of the picture, I will dedicate myself fully to this cause.
Hey, this is seriously unbearable. What do you think I am? Do something about that crazy butler of yours. I've had enough. I can't deal with him anymore. What a coincidence. I've realized I can't deal with you anymore either. It's truly a waste of my time. I have no intention of being dragged around by your irresponsible behavior any longer. What? I told you I want to take in this child, didn't I? Right now, I'm doing everything I can to ensure the adoption process is officially underway. You explicitly said you don't want this child, didn't you? For a parent who can say such cruel things without hesitation, don't you think it's better for me to raise the child instead? Come on! How many times do I have to say it? I don't need that bad luck charm. In fact, I'd be so much better off without her in my life. If this child hadn't been born, I would have been remarried by now. If I knew I'd be stuck with this burden, I wouldn't have given birth in the first place. It's truly heartbreaking that such a precious life was born into the hands of someone who never wanted them. Life can be so unfair, but none of this is a child's fault. The only misfortune in her life is being born to a parent like you. Fine, take the child. Just stop blaming me. Take the child, you say? Treating a child like an object is truly appalling, but I'm not blaming you. I'm simply pointing out the consequences of your actions. Your arrest and loss of employment, these were all the results of your own choices and behavior. None of this is my fault, and I had no direct involvement. Until you can accept that, nothing in your life will change. Perhaps being unburdened will make remarriage easier for you. If you think about it that way, it's not all bad, is it? Of course, you've lost everything now, and it's unlikely you'll even find a partner. Still, your future is entirely your own responsibility. This is unbelievable! I can't believe it's come to this! What are you going to do about it? This is all your fault. Fix it! I dumped that bad luck charm on you, so why am I the one stuck living such a miserable life? Now I have to deal with a life full of restrictions because of the upcoming trial. And yet, you've become a famous influencer on social media. Why? Oh, Madeline, it's been a while. So you've seen my posts? You know, I always thought I'd be a mom someday, so I had researched and learned a lot about parenting. But taking care of an actual baby? It's so much harder than I imagined. And since I'm in England now, I don't even have mom friends. I started posting on social media because I wanted to connect with others who could share their struggles. And then, people started reaching out, others with the same worries, and it felt so nice to connect. When people see photos of my daughter and say how adorable she is, it makes me happy as a parent. Of course, I prioritize taking care of her, but every few days, I upload a photo. But still, how do you have 200,000 followers? Why is it turning out like this? Why does nothing work out for me but everything works for you? Of course, I completely hide my daughter's face. Protecting her privacy is very important. The photos only show her hands or her back. Even so, people still tell me how adorable she is. It seems parenting struggles are universal, and it makes me happy to connect with parents facing similar challenges. When I started sharing tips about raising my daughter and life in England, the response is far beyond what I expected. Especially photos of her in nature, those get such a positive reaction. The comment section is filled with messages of empathy and support from all over the world. It's surprising and inspiring at the same time. By posting in both English and Spanish, I've attracted interest from people overseas, and that's how my followers grew so quickly. Honestly, I never thought it would blow up like this. Why? Why is it always you? I've worked so hard in my own way, so why is there such a big difference between us? Life is so unfair. Yes, life does feel unfair at times. But you know, it's not just about the environment or other people. Your own actions and choices play a significant role too. You abandoned your child thinking it would bring you happiness, But has that choice truly made you happy? To find happiness, it's not enough to just blame others. You need to confront yourself as well. As long as you keep running away, true happiness will always remain out of reach. As for me, I cherish my time with my daughter and use even my painful past to move forward. That's why I feel happy now. Are you saying I was wrong? It's not me. It's everyone else's fault. No, nothing I say will change anything now. But at the very least, shouldn't you start taking responsibility for your own choices? If you can do that, your future might change, even if just a little. Madeline's trial concluded around the time I was beginning to settle into my new life in England. She was given a suspended sentence, but when I saw her name appear in a small corner of an online news article, I felt it marked the beginning of her social downfall. Right after the verdict, even the people she once considered friends grew tired of her outrageous behavior and left her one by one. Her dreams of remarriage were also shattered. When I heard that the man she planned to marry told her, "I can't build a family with a woman who abandoned her baby," I was honestly surprised, but I also thought it was the natural outcome. Having lost her job, she tried to find new work, but her history as a daycare worker left her with no trust whatsoever. At every interview, her past actions were brought up, and she was coldly told, "We'll have to pass." The job she eventually found was a simple labor position, something her former self would never have chosen. I imagine the reality of having to swallow her pride has been the hardest thing for her to bear. Her debts continued to pile up, and she eventually couldn't even pay her rent. Looking at it now, Madeline's downfall was entirely of her own making. I didn't pursue her out of revenge. I just wanted to protect the baby. Now, peaceful days flow for me and the baby. With James's support, I can focus on raising this precious life. I get my happiest moments from watching that baby beam with joy.
Thank you for watching. Please rate the video and subscribe to our channel. See you in the next video.
Haley, I'm sorry. I can't go with you.
What do you mean?
I got a message from my parents. They're cutting us off.
How come?
They got mad when they found out we got married. They said the trip they gave us was a lie.
A lie? Then what are these plane tickets?
They're real, but they're economy class instead of business. And the accommodation is a hostel instead of 5 stars.
How dare they?
I don't think we'll be able to enjoy anything. I did a quick research, and the area we're staying in seems sketchy.
Oh no, but we're in love, so we'll be fine, right? Let's go anyway.
No, I'm sorry, I can't. I've decided to leave you.
Leave me? Now?
When my parents mentioned disowning me, it woke me up and made me realize. I love you, but you approached me for my money. You never looked me for who I am, but rather for the wealth and status of my family, right?
That's not true.
Now that I think about it, you always try to get money from me for things like designer clothes, fancy restaurants, and vacations. You are attempting to pry into the details of my family's wealth, too.
It's just because I love you so much, and I want to know so that I don't have to worry about our future.
I don't believe that anymore. I can no longer be with you. We just got married, but I'm filing for a divorce.
Wait, don't say that. Don't leave me.
It's too late. I'm going to leave the airport now and go back to Shannon. I still love her, and maybe she'll forgive me.
Oh no. Please.
Take care, Haley.
I'll go to Cambodia by myself. There's no way your parents would do such a thing to you. You're their only son. Shannon's just jealous of our marriage, so she's telling a bunch of lies to spite me. Even the declaration of disownment might have been a trap set up by her, like hacking or something. I'm going to go prove that now.
Shannon, I'm sorry. I want to see you.
What now?
I'm leaving Haley. I want to start over with you.
What on earth are you talking about? Have you gone nuts?
I'm not crazy, I'm serious. I still love you. I don't care about Haley. She's only after my money, you know.
Did you just realize that now?
Indeed, it's too late. But I'm going to come right back to you, my love. Once again,
I'm already married.
What? With whom?
With the man your parents introduced me to.
What the heck?
We're going on our honeymoon now.
Honeymoon? Where?
In Paris first. We're staying at an exquisite hotel with a view of the Eiffel Tower.
Paris? That's where I wanted to go too. Shannon, please, forgive me.
How can I forgive you? You betrayed me and married my sister.
It was a huge mistake. I realized that you were my true love.
It's too late for that. I don't love you or trust you anymore.
No, please.
It's none of your business, but I'm truly happy now. My husband, unlike you, loves me with all his heart, respects me, and takes care of me. I love him likewise. I appreciate him and I respect him. We promised that we would trust each other and have a happy family.
Oh, God.
You need to take responsibility for your choices. I don't want anything to do with you anymore, so this is the last time.
Wait! Stop it! Don't leave me.
Take care, Liam.
Shannon, my love.
First, my ex-husband, Liam, went back to his parents with disappointment, but he was turned away at the gate and not even acknowledged. As expected, he lost his position as the heir and was forced to resign from the company. He's now living off his low-paying job. On the other hand, Haley, my older sister, had to meet the conditions set by our father to return from Cambodia. The conditions were to marry a distant male relative in his 50s and never get divorced. It turned out our father's business was on the brink of bankruptcy, and he wanted to secure financial support by having Haley fulfill those conditions. Devastating for her, the man was someone she couldn't bear to be with. She married such a man in tears, got pregnant, and gave birth to her first son. Now, even after our father's business went bankrupt, her husband says he wants to have many daughters, and she just goes along with it. With a look of resignation on her face, she is working hard on her next pregnancy.
Amanda, please. I have no money at all. I'm sorry about Terry, so can you please speak to your grandma to wait for the rent? I don't want to talk to you anymore, so I'll block you. Oh no, wait! Nikki's father was furious when he found out what had happened. Due to the incident of taking the parents' money without permission, she was brought back to her family home. Looking back at her carefree life, facials, nail art, designer's bags, clothes, accessories, etc., her spending was limitless. All of those things were sold by her aunt, who had co-signed for the apartment and covered the unpaid rent. It seems that mentioning the word restraining order had an impact. Now she's totally quiet and even sneaks away when we pass each other on the streets, so we can consider this matter settled for now.
Thank you for watching. Please rate the video and subscribe to our channel. See you in the next video.
Hey, Shelly. Is it true that you are going on an overseas trip for the long holiday next month?
Oh yeah, that's right. I'm going to Australia for a week with Terry.
Oh dear. This is unacceptable.
Excuse me, is there a problem?
I must say there is. When there's a long holiday, you're supposed to go visit your relatives. Helping out around the house and whatnot is pretty common sense. What made you think you can just take off like that?
I'm not sure what to say, but we are thinking about trying to have a baby in the next year or so. If we have a child, we won't be able to travel. We were thinking of taking a relaxing trip, just the two of us, while we still can. Simply put, that's what we were thinking.
How many years have you been married to our son?
What? 3 years.
You've only been married for 3 years and you've already stopped being a wife. You're pretty insensitive, aren't you?
Excuse me? What do you mean?
You refuse to live with us, your husband's parents. As the eldest son's wife, usually, you would think you would help with the family business. But you continue to work. As a member of my family, this is a very sad situation. At the very least, I would think that you would try to devote yourself a little more to the family.
You know what? Don't you realize that Terry doesn't like that out-of-date thinking?
Excuse me?
To begin with, it was Terry who suggested that we travel abroad together.
What?
It was originally Terry who was opposed to living together. It was also Terry who agreed to continue to let me work after marriage. We visit you every Christmas, and you pester me about cleaning and cooking and so on. You go on and on about how to run this family store, which I have no intention of taking over. Terry said we should spend the holidays relaxing and not thinking about any problems. Do you know what this means?
What's that? You're lying. Terry would never say such a thing. He's our adorable son. What is so out of date of my way of thinking? Terry is the eldest son in our family, and we have trained him well. He will take over his father's store, and his wife will be a good family member and help him with the housework and the store. There's no way Terry can't understand that it's the right thing to do. You keep talking nonsense.
Well then, why don't you ask Terry yourself?
He's busy with work. It would be a nuisance if I contacted him about something like this.
I'm busy with work too. I'm still on a business trip.
Huh? You're a woman and you go off on a business trip neglecting your home?
Nowadays, going on a business trip has nothing to do with being a man or a woman. I have an early start tomorrow morning, so if you'll excuse me now.
Hey, wait a minute. I haven't finished talking yet. Oh, this is unbelievable. That's why I was against this marriage. You're a woman busy with work? A woman is supposed to stay at home and support her husband. That is the traditional role of a woman. Besides, you are the eldest son's wife and we have the store. You need to be part of the family even more so. Terry's childhood friend, Emily, is the most suitable wife for our family. Emily knows Terry very well, and they understand each other. I wish Terry would just divorce you and marry Emily.
Hi, it's Terry.
Emily? If it's Terry, I'm sorry to say he won't be back here for the holidays. His mean wife has persuaded him to go on an overseas trip. That wife doesn't seem to care about her in-laws' family business. She doesn't even come home to help out at the store over the holidays. And she doesn't even know what she's doing as a wife. If only a kind and sensible girl like you were in the family.
That's not what I'm calling about. Terry was rushed to the hospital by ambulance.
Huh? What in the world happened?
At the intersection in front of the bus terminal, I saw Terry get hit by a car that ran a red light.
What did you say?
There were other injured people involved, and they were taken away in 2 ambulances. I rode in the ambulance with Terry to the hospital. The doctors say he's in critical condition. You guys need to come here right now.
What hospital is Terry in?
The Springfield City Hospital.
I understand. I'll be right there. Shelley, Terry was hit by a car and he's in the hospital. Where the hell are you? When are you coming to the hospital? My son's in the hospital and you haven't come once. Who the hell do you think you are? No, this is what I need to say to you. Your own husband is in the hospital. I can't believe that his wife wouldn't even come to see him. No matter how many times I call you, there's no response. Emily's been taking care of him instead of you. You're an irresponsible woman. How can you neglect a family member who has been in an accident? You can't do what you should do as a wife or even as a human being to come visit him? Don't tell me you're leaving your injured husband behind and going on an overseas trip by yourself. I've talked this over with my husband. We believe Emily would make a more suitable wife for Terry.
Good evening. About Terry, he's able to walk with crutches now. If all goes well, he'll be able to leave the hospital next month.
That's good to hear. It's all thanks to you, Emily.
I just did what I had to do.
But I'm really sorry you had to take care of Terry. It was the holidays and everything, and you had to spend it going to the hospital. My husband and I operate business with just a few part-timers. We wouldn't have been able to close the shop. It was a busy time of the year during a major holiday weekend. At least, it would have been nice if the hospital was within easy commuting distance, but Springfield is too far away.
Don't worry about it. I was just happy to be able to take care of my beloved Terry.
Yeah, that's great. You're really a good girl. Completely the opposite of that wife of his, Shelley.
Apparently, she hasn't even come to the hospital once yet.
Oh, I haven't heard from her yet. I still can't get in touch with her. Her parents are already gone, and since I can't reach her, it's hard to find out what's going on. But she's Terry's wife, so she must have at least been informed of the accident. And she's been ignoring my calls for a week. I wonder where in the world she's been and what she's been doing.
Maybe she went on the trip after all?
You think so too, Emily?
Yeah, that's what I think. Terry's defending her, saying it can't be true. There's no way she would do such a thing. But she hasn't even been home.
Is that so?
I'm staying at Terry's house now to take care of him. There's no sign that she's been home. Besides, cosmetics, clothes, a large suitcase, things you might use for a trip like that are missing from the house. So I guess she took advantage of Terry's injury and went off on her own. I wonder if she's in Australia right now taking pictures with koalas?
Well, I thought that might be the case, but apparently it's true.
Hey, let's just get her divorced already. Poor Terry. Such an irresponsible wife.
You're right. After all, you're the only one for him. I'm sure he'll love you for taking care of him. Let's get him to divorce that irresponsible wife and marry you.
Oh, I'm so happy. I'll make Terry happy forever.
After discussing it with my husband, it's been decided that you will divorce Terry. You left your husband in the hospital, didn't take care of him at all, went out to have fun, not even bothering to return. On top of that, not even a word from you. Going on a trip when my son is in the hospital? You are an unbelievable wife. You're still not worthy of Terry. Therefore, we want you to divorce him.
Sorry for the late reply.
You finally responded. You may be in a panic at the word divorce, but this decision will not be reversed.
I'm sorry, but I think there's a misunderstanding. I've been in the hospital with my husband the whole time.
Don't lie.
I'm not lying. I'm one of the victims who was involved in Terry's accident.
What?
You seem to have misunderstood a lot, so let me briefly explain the situation up to this point. First of all, I was in the intensive care unit for a few days right after I was admitted to the hospital. I have now been moved to a private room, but my phone was broken and I had to send it out for repair. That phone came back yesterday, but I can't type on it because my hand is injured. My best friend who came to visit me typed this message for me and I am replying to it right now.
What the heck? When I contacted Terry, he didn't say anything about that.
Well, he had to keep quiet, didn't he? Emily is obsessed with Terry and sees me as an enemy, so she has been sneaking into Terry's hospital room. She's been peeking at his messages on his phone and eavesdropping on our calls.
Huh?
It seems that she has been coming into our home without permission. I thought if she knew that I was in the same hospital, I didn't know what she would do to me. But it was also too much trouble to move to another hospital. I asked the hospital to put me in a private room, and I was able to hide from her by saying no visitors. By the way, the reason I just revealed this to you is Emily's parents have agreed to keep an eye on her.
Keep an eye on her? Wait a minute. I don't get it. Why is Emily being watched? She's wonderful. She's a nice girl, isn't she? She was the first one to inform us about Terry's accident. She's been taking care of Terry in the hospital ever since. Don't talk like she's a criminal.
She hasn't been charged yet, but she is a criminal.
What?
Emily explained the accident as Terry was hit by a car that ran a red light. In reality, Terry was waiting for a traffic light at the crosswalk when he was pushed forcefully from behind, fell dramatically toward the roadway. He was hit by a car that had just come along.
You mean someone harmed Terry?
Yeah, so it was Emily.
Huh?
But her pushing Terry somehow doesn't make sense. I think she might have pushed him by mistake, thinking it was me.
Oh my!
And then I was right next to Terry at the time.
Oh.
We were going on a trip. We were about to take a bus to the airport. We were at the busy intersection at the bus terminal. We were holding hands, and I was caught in his fall. The result? Well, I don't have to explain any further, do I?
Oh no.
We are thinking about filing a police report while discussing what we need to do from here on out.
A report? But Emily might not have done it on purpose, right? Maybe she was so happy to see Terry that she bumped into him really hard. No, a police report is an overreaction.
No, Emily pushed him on purpose. It's not like she bumped into him really hard. At that time, there were several people waiting for the light at the crosswalk, and Emily was just standing at first. As soon as she realized that Terry and I were right in front of her, she suddenly thrust out her arm and pushed him. Since then, witnesses have come forward, and there's no way she's going to be able to talk her way out of this. I'm sure the police will be talking to her in the near future.
I see.
Well, that's all for today.
Huh.
My best friend who is typing on my behalf is about to leave. And since the purpose of today's message was to correct a misunderstanding about me, I'll say goodbye for now.
Emily, I can't believe you pushed Terry. You let him get hit by a car? I can't believe it. I entrusted Terry's care to such a dangerous person. I thought that you could make Terry a good wife. Oh, jeez. I know you can't reply to this message because you're being watched. We'll just pretend that there was no talk of you getting married to my son. And don't ever come near our family again, you criminal. Shelley, you're out of the hospital? If you got out of the hospital, why didn't you come and say hello to us? And you moved out. When things finally settled down at the store and I went to your house, it was deserted. Hurry up and tell us your new address.
Hello. I did move, but I won't give you my address.
Why not?
Because if I tell you, you and the others will come barging in. Terry and I both still need to recuperate. We don't want a lot of noise and people.
I won't be noisy. I'm telling you, I'll take care of you.
No, thank you.
All right. You're sulking, aren't you?
Huh?
You're mad because I said I'd have you divorce Terry, aren't you? Well, be happy. You're better than Emily, the criminal. I won't talk about divorce at all anymore.
Oh my gosh.
I'll accept the fact that you are my son's wife. And I'll even let you continue to work and be away from home a lot on business trips.
Why are you being so condescending?
Well, of course it's because I'm your mother-in-law and I'm your superior. It's only natural that I speak from such a standpoint.
I understand. You haven't changed at all.
What's that?
Well, I'll be going now.
Hey, answer me. Don't tell me you're just going to ignore me. Who do you think you are? What's this? Terry has your last name? He sent me and my husband a sealed letter declaring that he's disowning us. Please talk him out of it. Terry is my only son. I was planning for him to eventually take over the family business, but he's cutting ties with us? Shelley, please give me back Terry.
There are actually two reasons why Terry and I moved out. Besides getting away from my in-laws, the other reason was that we could no longer live in our house because of Emily. When the surveillance of her started, she was driven out of our house. Before she left, she broke everything in the house to spite us. My best friend, who had gone to see the house first, said the situation was really bad. She helped us in getting rid of everything and finishing the moving process. Emily's parents covered the cost of the reimbursement for personal belongings and moving expenses. We were able to manage our living expenses while recuperating. As for Emily, we filed a police report. She was charged with attempted murder for intentionally pushing us, as well as other charges, including damage to property in the house. And now, she's safely behind bars. My husband and I, who are now free from my parents-in-law, will be able to lead our own lives peacefully.
How did you like my dress unveiling party today? It was so beautiful that everyone was speechless. Since all the people there were simpletons, my creamy white dress looks stunning.
Molly.
Oh, wow! The plain girl finally responded. I can't believe that someone like you is the sister-in-law of someone beautiful and elegant like me.
Me either.
Today was my mother's funeral. I can't believe that someone would wear a pure white dress and sparkling jewelry to a funeral and then go on to say she's going to a party. I don't even want to think of you as my sister-in-law. It's beyond common sense.
Oh, not this. Resentment?
Excuse me? You're jealous of my beauty because you're a plain, ugly woman who's not even in my league. You're not the only one. Everyone in your family is plain and ugly. Even your dead mother is at the bottom of the face deviation scale. But you had a gorgeous, beautiful woman like me at your funeral. It must have been an honor for those of you who come from humble and ugly families. Everyone looked kind of bitter. I looked beautiful in my dress, didn't I? Everyone is really pissed off at you. We all wanted to send my mother off quietly, wholeheartedly and politely. And then it became your fashion show. It's the worst thing I've ever seen. What? How old are you now? What? What does that have to do with anything? Just tell me. I'm 29.
Oh my God, 29?
What's so funny? You're 29 years old, you don't have a clue about social common sense, and you're pathetically jealous. Huh? You know what? It's a miracle that a plain, ugly family like yours could be related to our gorgeous family. It's a real mystery why Kellen, a handsome and well-educated man, chose a woman like you. It's probably just a passing fancy. You'll get divorced in the near future. No, we won't. You will. No matter what Kellen says, I'll make sure you get divorced. You guys should at best live your lives as my supporting role. Even today, you were all dressed in all black. You were all wearing all black today to complement my pure white dress, weren't you? That's not why. It was to express our condolences to my mother. My mother and I don't live our lives to make you look good. That's what you're living for. You are only supporting characters. Only beautiful women like me and handsome, well-educated men like Kellen can play the leading roles in your lives. You're less than extras, but you're so uppity. You think you're an actor? It's more impudent of you to come to a funeral in a dress. Even your pride and joy, Kellen, is upset with your attitude today. You came dressed in an unthinkable way, and afterwards, you bragged about your jewelry and talked to a young man without any consideration for the memory of the individual. He said he doesn't know what you were trying to do and that you must be out of your mind. He's really pissed off. Kellen is being deceived by you. I don't know what kind of tricks you're using to blind him. I'll make sure he opens his eyes. When Kellen comes to his senses, he'll tell you he's divorcing you. And then, he'll praise me for how beautiful I look in my dress. Where do you get your confidence from? Because he's my brother. A bottom-feeding family like yours has no use except to make us look good. Marriages, funerals, and all the other things you do are ridiculous. I'm sure even Kellen will realize that. Oh, is that so? You're not going to retract that statement, are you? Do I have to retract it? I just said the truth. You're gonna be sorry. You're the one who's going to be sorry. You'll be sorry you ever challenged me, idiot.
Good morning. Are you feeling okay?
Yesterday was a bit of a shock, but I'm fine now.
I see. That's good. Your family is still mad, aren't they? I'm really sorry too. You had to go through that.
No, it's not your fault. They're all still pretty angry, and I think that's justified. I told everyone that you rushed to your parents' house to protest. They're saying that out of all the members of that insane family, you're the only one that, well...
I see. But I don't think I'm going to be able to do much about it. How did Molly turn out to be such a crazy person?
Even if your parents get angry at her,
No, even my parents are on Molly's side.
What? Were your parents that difficult to talk to? I only met them a few times, but I didn't get that impression.
You know that Molly and I are not related by blood, right? She's my stepmother's daughter, and I'm my father's son. My stepmother has always loved Molly so much, she's never scolded her. Dad is also completely under my stepmother's thumb, and he can't assert himself. They say Molly is at an age where she wants to dress stylishly, so what's wrong with that? Besides, just participating in the funeral is commendable enough. Complaining about her appearance is narrow-minded, and so on. With statements like these, everyone except me is defending Molly.
She's at an age when she wants to dress up, but she's not in high school.
Molly's 36 this year.
I can't believe your parents are still protecting her at that age.
More than being protected, it's like being overly dependent. Yet, despite that, her pride is surprisingly high. She even pressured me to get a divorce, and it's really exhausting. Oh, of course, I firmly rejected the idea of getting a divorce, okay?
I'm not worried about that. I'm more worried about the fact that you flew back to your hometown right after the funeral yesterday. You haven't had any time to rest.
Thanks for worrying about me. You're right. I haven't slept much. I was listening to my parents and Molly's messed up story, and I started to feel sick. I had to get out of the house for a while.
Well, now I understand what's going on. So take it easy and come home. I'll be waiting for you.
Thanks. We'll talk about how to handle Molly and the others when I get back.
Hey, Simply Ugly. Come to this address now. What, Molly? Is this address a wedding hall?
Yes, because today is my wedding.
A wedding? That's very sudden.
You can come on short notice, can't you? You commoners must have a lot of free time anyway, right?
Well, my relatives are getting together today for a barbecue.
Oh, well, that's perfect. Bring all your plain-looking relatives to my wedding. The beautiful bride and groom will be more attractive if there are many plain-faced attendees.
Even if you say so, I can't go. Some of the people with me now say it's the first they've heard of it, and it's too sudden. What are you laughing at?
If you hear this, you'll want to come to the ceremony. You don't have Kellen at your gathering, do you?
No. He's absent because he has some business he can't miss.
That's a lie.
What?
Kellen will attend my wedding. As the groom, in fact.
Groom? Huh? But you two are brother and sister, right? It's wrong for you to get married.
Me and Kellen are siblings who are not blood related. We're a beautiful man and a beautiful woman. A perfect couple.
But Kellen would never agree to such a thing. There must be a mistake.
You're an idiot. Of course Kellen agreed. I opened up Kellen's eyes about being deceived by you. Then, he fell in love with me. Wow, I'm such a sinful woman.
To begin with, Kellen is my husband. I wouldn't just let him go and get married.
Kellen said he's divorcing you, and he complimented me on how beautiful I looked in my dress. See? I was right, wasn't I?
There's no way.
Too frustrated to accept it? But you won't be able to say that after seeing the wedding, will you? I'll invite all of your simpleton relatives to the wedding.
I understand. There are 12 of us, so we'll all go now.
Oh, you're so understanding. It's good to admit defeat. I'll be waiting for you. What's going on? Kellen won't marry me. And what's with you guys dressed like that?
Jeans and t-shirts? Of course, right?
No, it's not right. What do you mean you're attending a wedding in t-shirts?
You wore a fancy dress to my mother's funeral, so I dressed according to your common sense. Only you and your parents were dressed in pure white, and you looked very out of place. And what does that mean? Before I knew it, Kellen had changed into jeans. Security guards came in with you guys and stopped us in the middle of the ceremony. What's going on? I guess the reason the security guards came in was because the ceremony hall was being used without permission. In order to get me and Kellen divorced, you threatened a friend of the staff of the ceremony hall and snuck in. I can't believe you tried to have a wedding with your brother, even though you're not blood related. It's so insane, it's almost funny. Don't you realize that it's crazy to think it would work? I mean, I didn't want Kellen to be taken away by you, the plain, ugly one. Kellen wouldn't even take my side about your mother's funeral. Even when I told him to divorce you, he wouldn't take me seriously. So I had no choice but to take him away any way I could. Halfway through, Kellen was on board and I thought it was going to work out. That was just a facade, of course. He was just trying to make you pay for your sins by going along. What do you mean, my sins? I didn't do anything wrong. My mother's funeral was too insane, but it wasn't enough to charge you with a crime. But now there is a clear charge of trespassing on the ceremony site. And the dress you're wearing? It probably belongs to someone else who is having a ceremony in the near future, right? I don't think it's a good idea to wear it without permission. What? You all deceived me? And what are you talking so high and mighty about? You and Kellen are in on it, and it's terrible. I've put Kellen in the hardest role of all, but he did it for me because of what happened at my mother's funeral. What's that supposed to mean? In outdoor clothes, together with the security personnel, we headed towards you. Kellen was buying us time in order for us to tell you that you will die socially. We could have just had you arrested, but that didn't seem like it would be enough for my mother's relatives, who were infuriated about the funeral being ruined. I felt a little better when I saw you in such a distraught state of helplessness. Huh? What the hell? Because of you, the wedding hall is asking me to pay compensation. They threatened to call the police if I couldn't pay in one lump sum. Kellen also said never to talk to him again and blocked me. It's your fault. It's the fault of your simple family. You have to do something. No can do. If you suffer, it may bring a little relief to my mother. After that, we cut ties with Molly and her in-laws. The following week, we moved out of the house and completely severed all ties. I heard that Molly and her parents bowed down and got them to accept the compensation for the wedding hall and the wedding dress in installments. This incident triggered an outburst of anger from his father, who had been at his wife's beck and call. He was so angry with Molly and her sweet mother that he divorced her mother and moved out of the house. Molly and her mother, who were deadbeats, had no choice but to work. They have had to pay back Molly's compensation and have been living in extreme poverty.
Serena, are you already asleep? Sorry, I missed the last train. I'll stay at a business hotel near the office.
Tatum, you finally finished work? Rough day, huh?
Serena, you're awake.
I thought you'd be coming home, so I prepared dinner. I don't blame you for working late, but if you're going to be late, you should let me know.
Yeah, sorry. I've been really busy at work. I didn't have time to check my phone, so...
Is work that busy?
Yeah, especially because it's the busiest season of the year. A guy under me made a huge mistake. I'm trying to clean up the mess.
I see. That's tough.
If I handle this right, it'll improve my standing with the boss. I might even get a raise, so I'm gonna do my best to take care of it.
You'll be back in the morning, right?
No, I'm going straight to the office. I need to get into the office early tomorrow morning.
You're working on your day off? You're really a hard worker.
Oh, by the way, you said you were meeting up with your high school friends tomorrow, right?
Yep. We're gonna have lunch and then go shopping. We're going out for dinner too, but if you're coming home, I'll finish up early and make dinner, okay?
No, I'll be late tomorrow. You go hang out with your friends and stretch your wings.
Yeah? Okay. Then I'll take you up on that. Well, I'm going to bed. I'm sure you're tired too, so get some rest.
Oh, okay. Good night.
Good night.
My wife is so gullible.
How was it, Tatum? Is it true that your wife won't be there tomorrow?
Yeah, she'll be gone all afternoon. Now we can see each other again tomorrow.
Yay! I'm looking forward to going to your house. But is it true that your wife doesn't know? She's too naive. It worries me.
She doesn't know at all. She's so obtuse, you know what I mean? She thinks I worked so late I missed the last train today.
No way! When actually, you're coming home on time to have a rendezvous with me. Dinner at a restaurant with a night view, then making out at a hotel? You've never given your wife such a nice date present, have you?
Of course not. You're the only one I love.
Oh, baby, I'm so happy. Hey, why don't you just divorce a woman like that and hurry up and be my husband? I've been saying that for a while.
Well, don't be in such a hurry. I've just been keeping her around because she's a handy housekeeper. Don't worry, I'll divorce her soon.
Hurry up, okay? I can't wait.
Yeah, I promise. For now, we'll stay at the hotel tonight. Tomorrow, we'll have fun at my place, you and me.
Who was that woman? What were you two doing in her house? Answer me.
What woman? I have no idea what you're talking about.
Don't play dumb with me. When I came home, you were in bed with a young woman making out with her. And when I came in, both of you rushed out the door without your coats on. And I found a woman's coat still in the bedroom. Do you think you can get away with this after getting caught in the act?
Damn it, why? I thought you were going out to dinner with your friends today. Why did you come home so early?
I've been suspicious of you for a while, so I told you a lie about my plans and came home early. I'm surprised you fell for it.
How did you find out? I was trying to make sure you never would.
There are no absolutes in this world. I heard you lied about working late every day and went out with girls. A friend of mine from high school happened to know the girl you were having an affair with. She said, "Isn't that Serena's husband she's with?" She sent me a picture of you guys having dinner at a restaurant with a night view.
What?
Kayla Sussman. I heard she's an employee of your business partner. Ah, there's a woman's brand bag on the floor. I checked her driver's license, so I'm sure. Miss Sussman seemed to be in a great hurry to leave her valuables behind. Maybe because she knew you were married and having an affair?
Damn, how did you even...
Also, I checked with your company. And when I did, it's more of a quiet season right now. Your section chief told me you go home on time every day.
Oh yeah? So what?
Excuse me?
What's wrong with me being a little unfaithful?
What are you talking about? I have a big problem with it.
I'd rather go for a pretty young girl than a dull, ugly hag like you.
Hag? You and I are the same age. You cheated on me and now you're acting like nothing ever happened. You're disgusting.
Everything you've said so far is just hearsay, right? That doesn't prove I'm cheating on you.
I have proof.
What?
I put a hidden camera in our bedroom this morning. I have every single detail of what you and your lover were doing in the bedroom on camera. I didn't watch it because it's just too creepy. I mean, what more proof do you need?
Oh, come on. Are you kidding me? What's with the hidden camera? That's voyeurism.
I just have a camera in my own house.
Delete the data now.
Sorry, but I'll submit this evidence to my lawyer.
What? A lawyer?
I heard you said at the restaurant, I'm divorcing my wife and marrying Kayla. I'll divorce you as you wish. You'll have to pay me a lot of alimony, though.
Alimony? Wait a minute. Don't take that seriously. I'm not marrying her. That was just sweet talk.
Shut up. I'll take all the compensation I can get from you and from your lover. You two debtors can live your life licking each other's wounds. After that, my husband and his mistress came back to pick up their personal belongings. They got down on their knees and apologized to me at the door. I never forgave them, and with the camera footage as evidence, I consulted a lawyer. I convinced both of them that they had to pay compensation. It seems that their company found out about the affair and divorce. Kayla resigned from her job because it became difficult for her to stay at the company. But Tatum, while having fingers pointed at him behind his back, continued to work to pay off both his and Kayla's compensation fees. It was discovered that Kayla was having a relationship with another man. Now, it seems to be developing into a more chaotic situation.
Kira, tomorrow's finally your wedding! Congratulations! I can't believe you and Kenny are finally tying the knots. I'm feeling emotional already, you know? Hey, Hillary, thanks a bunch. Am I being ahead of myself here? Maybe I should have saved it for tomorrow. Not at all. You and the in-laws have been so accepting and caring. I'm really grateful for treating me like your own family. Even our dog Fluffy has taken a liking to you. Remember when he jumped all over you and didn't leave you alone during your first visit? That was crazy. Totally. And you, thank you so much. You've been there right from the start until now, despite being in the middle of a job hunt. Oh, come on. I'm already done with it anyway. Oh, you got an offer? Congrats. Thanks. I got it just yesterday. Guess we have to celebrate for you too then. It's fine, really. Seriously, you've helped us so much with the wedding. Especially getting that amazing poolside garden inside a 5-star hotel for the reception. It's incredible, all thanks to your connection. Just doing my duty as an older sister. Our parents are remarried, so Kenny and I are step-siblings, you know? But since he became my stepbrother, I've always wanted to do anything for him. The same goes for you, Kira. I want us to be like real sisters. That's so sweet. It's really reassuring to have you around. But that's not all, you know? What do you mean? I actually planned a surprise for you guys tomorrow. I hope you'll like it. I'll reveal more during the reception, so look forward to it. A surprise? I'm so excited. I promise you won't be disappointed. Guess you've got a lot to do for tomorrow. I'll let you go now. See you.
Hey, Hillary, what the heck were you thinking? Pushing Kira into the pool during the reception?
That's not true, Kenny. I didn't do it intentionally, you know. It was just an accident.
From where I was standing, it sure looked like you deliberately pushed her. You were the only one close to her at that moment.
Does she think the same too?
She's still unconscious. You know she twisted her ankle when she fell and drowned. She swallowed a lot of water. The doctor says she'll be okay though. But man, having the ambulance show up in the middle of the reception was a complete disaster. She was so looking forward to the wedding, and it meant a lot to me too. All ruined because of you, god darn it.
I swear I didn't mean any harm. You gotta believe me. She's my sister-in-law, for crying out loud. I would never intentionally harm my family. You and I aren't blood-related either, but we've been like real siblings, haven't we? I want the same relationship with her.
Right. I guess I was wrong. Sorry for doubting you.
No worries. I'm glad you believe me. I hope she wakes up soon.
Yeah, me too.
I want to visit her soon, but Mom, Dad, and everyone else are still upset. I'll make sure they're settled first.
Thanks. Everyone needs a reliable sister like you.
I'd do anything for you. Don't hesitate to lean on me.
You're the best. I'll get in touch again once Kira wakes up. Hi, Hillary. I'm sorry for causing trouble at the reception. I heard you looked after my family.
Oh, you came around already? I thought I got you pretty good.
Excuse me?
It would have been better if you just gone to the other side.
Hillary, are you okay?
Why do you ask?
Telling someone to go to the other side. You're not seriously thinking that, right?
I'm dead serious.
What?
Pushing you into the pool and messing up that crappy reception felt so good. I wish I could have finished you off. That's the only regret.
Pushing me? You were the one who pushed me into the pool? I did feel a force on my back, but I had no idea who it was. Even when I asked Kenny, he said he didn't see anything.
Oh, great!
Huh?
See, he's got my back after all. He trusts me more than he trusts you. Pushing you was the right call. You're not fit to be his wife after all.
Wait, what's gotten into you suddenly? You said you were happy about our marriage. You even mentioned wanting to be like real sisters. Remember?
I was just playing along, of course. When we first met, everyone was around, so I had to pretend to be happy for you guys, you know, for the show. I wouldn't just hand Kenny over to someone who appeared out of nowhere. Never!
Out of nowhere? We've been together for 7 years since our freshman year of college.
I've been in love with him for 26 years, since I was 4.
Even if you deeply care about your brother, this is way over the top.
Not as my brother. I've decided to marry him since I was 4. We aren't blood-related siblings. So when I found out we could get married, I was over the moon. When I first met him, I felt a strong sense of destiny. He's my fate, my future husband. I felt it in my gut.
Do you really think a 4-year-old can feel all that?
Shut up! You came butting in and overshadowing me. So I came up with an amazing scheme to finish you off in the pool at a beautiful hotel. But you're as resilient as a cockroach and ruined everything.
I'm glad to be resilient. I can't stand the thought of being sent off for such a ludicrous reason. I understand that you resent me, but guess what? I'm his wife. The wedding might have been disrupted, but we've already submitted our marriage license.
So what's your point? You can get divorced, you know. I'm not giving him up to you. You're lucky it just ended with a fall in the pool this time. You won't be so lucky next time. Until you kick the buckets or divorce him, I won't hesitate to do what I need to.
If that's what you're up for, bring it on. I'll take appropriate measures too. Of course, I'll let Kenny know about this.
Do whatever you want. He's on my side. He's my sweet future husband who stands up for me. Whatever you say won't diminish the 26 years of bond. Hey, what have you done?
What are you talking about?
Don't pretend. I just got a rejection notice from the company where I had the job offer. You must have done something.
I think you're overthinking.
No way. With what happened, it's suspicious how conveniently the offer got rescinded.
I'm telling you, you're misunderstanding something. First of all, you never received an offer.
Yeah, right. What are you talking about?
Once an offer is made, there needs to be a valid reason to rescind it. But since you haven't received an offer yet, I had them just process it as a regular rejection. They were about to send out the letter in a day. It was seriously close. Haha.
How do you know all that?
Do you even know who I am?
Huh? You're Kira. You're the despicable woman who married my brother.
Anything else?
What else?
Ugh, you don't know? I'm astounded. You don't even know about the CEO whose company you wanted to work for?
Huh? The CEO? What? You?
I was surprised too. I've been busy preparing for the wedding, so I left the business to do COO for a while. I had no clue you interviewed for a job at my company.
That's got to be a lie. I did mention it when we first met. Weren't you listening? Well, yeah, I just thought you were bluffing. A clueless woman like you is the CEO? Impossible. Clueless? That's rude, you know. Well, I'm a bit ashamed of myself at how close I got to leaving this life because of you. But thanks to your bold move, my HR staff noticed you and your hiring got stopped. No way! You know, a lot of my employees were at the wedding. I couldn't believe that with so many guests there, no one saw you pushing me. I asked around a bit and got a bunch of people who witnessed it. There are plenty who saw you in action right at that moment. When I checked, I found a crucial shot among the others the photographer captured. Ha, whatever. There are plenty of job opportunities out there in this world. I decline to work for your company anyway. I've got Kenny. No matter what you or anyone else says, he'll always have my back.
I don't think so, Hillary.
Huh? Kenny? He wanted to chat with you directly after I showed him our conversation, so I added him here.
I heard everything after Kira woke up. It was you who pushed her after all. I was a fool to trust you, even for a moment.
Kenny, why? How could you believe this woman over me? We've built a bond as siblings for 26 years, but you choose her over me?
Sorry, but I can't trust you anymore. I'm furious and honestly disgusted.
Disgusted? What do you mean? I'm beautiful, ain't I? I've always been there for you and watched over you. I'm your big sister, for God's sake.
That's the thing.
You said you trusted me.
As a family, I trusted you. We're not blood related, but I relied on you like a real sister. You were always caring to me and our parents. I thought you were a good person. I never thought you were the kind of person who would push Kira into a pool or threaten her.
But what else could I do? You picked that woman over me. I thought maybe if I got rid of her, you'd choose me.
That doesn't make any sense. Even if she were gone, I don't even want to think about it. But even then, I wouldn't choose you.
How come? Don't you see how much I love you?
That creeps me out, you know. I was only 1 when you were 4. Thinking you looked at me like that since I was a baby gives me chills. Seriously. I showed him all the messages you sent me before. He got goosebumps for real. It was pretty sad.
That can't be true. I can't believe you're not accepting my love. I get it. You're being threatened by her, right?
Huh? What?
Kenny, you can be honest, you know. It's okay to say I'm the one you truly love. You want to divorce that shallow fling from college and be with me, who's been with you for 26 years, right?
Got it.
Yes!
I want nothing to do with you anymore.
What?
You've got a lot to say about the love of my life. Listen, she started a business and has been more successful since college. She wanted to prioritize work over marriage, but I begged her to reconsider. I promised her I'd never make her regret it and to make her happy. She finally agreed after I pleaded and persuaded her.
Wow. I'm glad I married him. He treats me so well and I'm really happy. You've got to be kidding me. I thought she was the one who seduced you.
You tried to send the woman I adored to the other side. You pretended to be happy and celebrate our marriage, but laughed behind the scenes, right? I should have declined the poolside wedding when you suggested it. I can never forgive you for what you did to her.
Don't say that, Kenny. We're siblings bonded by strong ties, right? We've always had each other's backs.
You're not my sister anymore. Get lost. Stay out of our lives from now on.
No, please. Have you guys had enough chat between the siblings? I think the police should be arriving at your place soon. What? The police? For what? Well, you're a suspect for attempted murder. I mean, I did mention there's photographic evidence of you pushing me into the pool, right? Jeez, going to the police is overreacting. I apologize, so please reconsider. I already reported you, so... Kenny! Convince her!
It was actually me who suggested going to the police. I felt I had to be firm about this, especially since you're my family.
This is too much.
I've already told mom and dad about this. They said if you're guilty, they want you to reflect on it and take responsibility.
Hillary tried to evade the arrest and fled from her home before the police arrived. But the family dog, Fluffy, tracked her scent and they found her. She was taken away in the back of a patrol car. Ha ha ha. Regarding the incident of being pushed into the pool, it was eventually settled out of court, so she didn't end up in prison. After being rejected by my company, she struggled to find a job. She tried asking her parents and relatives for help, but they all turned her down. Ha ha ha. In the end, she's juggling multiple part-time jobs to cover my hospital bill, the cleaning expenses for my wedding dress, and the compensation I claimed. As for me, my professional and private lives are going amazingly, and I'm enjoying life every day. Before marriage, I prioritized work and thought I didn't want kids. Lately, influenced by Kenny's love, I'm thinking maybe expanding the family wouldn't be a bad idea.
Thank you for watching. Please rate the video and subscribe to our channel. See you in the next video.
And your monthly unemployment insurance goes in your own pocket. I'm the one who makes the money for the family. I'm tired after a long day at work. It's sad to hear you talk like that. Oh, there's a message from Lynn. Mom, take it easy. I have the keys. It'll be fine. What does she mean?
Whatever Lynn says, just keep looking until you find them. Answer me.
Yeah, I understand.
It's yes, not yeah.
Yes. It's Lynn again. Dad has your keys. He's at home now. What's going on?
Damn it, sticking her nose in.
What? I went back to the office.
It's your fault for not checking when you left in the morning.
Tucker, I'm leaving now, so tell me why when I get home. Hey, Tucker. After that, I took Lynn back to my parents' house and we had a discussion. She said she couldn't forgive her father for being mean to me and her friends. Looking at Lynn, who had endured heartbreak and sorrow, I decided to divorce him. Tucker did not immediately agree to the divorce, but when he saw Lynn's strong will, he understood the magnitude of what he had done and agreed to the divorce. After that, Tucker went back to his parents' house and started working part-time in order to get custody of Lynn. It didn't last long. He is living a semi-reclusive life. I sold the house where we used to live as a family. I am living peacefully with my parents and Lynn in my parents' house as a family of 4. Since my house and my parents' house were close to each other, Lynn didn't have to change schools, and she is now studying hard to get into college. I am spending happy days with Lynn's bright smile and happy conversations.
Ask Adam about his schedule.
It wasn't just you who was crazy. It was the whole family. I understand perfectly. I'm going to cut myself off from all of you. I've been putting up with it for a long time, but I can't take it anymore.
Are you mad at me? Why?
You're so funny.
What are you mad about?
Are you mad at yourself for being born uglier than your twin sister?
Wow,
you're so stoic. I now know that my parents and siblings are crazy. If I don't do something about it, they will keep exploiting me my whole life. For the safety of Adam and myself, I'm going to leave you guys.
Oh, you're taking your boyfriend away? You're not going to give him up, even though you're my sister? Our parents won't let you do that.
I don't care. I don't need your permission. I don't want to spend the rest of my life being exploited. Don't you ever contact me again. After that, I really cut myself off from my family and moved out. Macy complained to her friends and neighbors. My sister didn't give me her boyfriend. They all pushed her aside, distanced themselves from her, and isolated themselves from her. My family was crazy, but I'm glad to hear that some of my friends were sane. A few years later, I married Adam and had children. When I married Adam and had a child, I received a phone call from my parents. Macy still insisted that I should give up my boyfriend, and once she was married, she planned to quit her job and hang out at home. My parents were crying, saying that they wanted me to come back home and that they wanted to see their grandchildren. I silently hung up the phone and quickly blocked the calls.
Hi there, Rachel. I have a favor to ask you right away. Hello, Yasmin. The answer is no if you're asking me to throw meat. Rachel, you owe me $2,000 now. The wagyu I brought wasn't enough, so I went to the local butcher and bought some. Please don't tell my husband about this. Of course I will tell him. Wait. Then, can you pay for the damage? I heard you were a full-time housewife. I think it would be your husband who would have to pay for the damage. But... I will let you know how much the total amount will be as soon as I confirm the status of my backyard. Besides, it's about time. A police siren! I think our neighbor called it in. We were having a quiet party. Why is this suddenly happening? My neighbor came home about 2 hours ago. He said he just noticed My backyard was in terrible shape. We had to re-landscape, and it cost us around $10,000. Later, Yasmin's husband visited me alone with a check. He wanted to apologize for the damage. He said that he would collect the money from Yasmin. Also, Yasmin's mom friends who attended the event are arguing about who should pay how much. But that is a matter between them, so I will just sit on the sidelines. And as for Yasmin, she shows no sign of remorse. Her husband has custody of their child because Yasmin is a bad influence on them. I received angry and abusive texts from Yasmin. I blocked her without replying.
Thank you for watching. Please rate the video and subscribe to our channel. See you in the next video. Emmy, when will you pick me up? You are 3 minutes late. Caroline, do we have any plans for today? I'm going to the movies today with a friend and we will eat dinner afterward. I told you to pick me up at the station at 9 p.m. Don't tell me you forgot. Oh, about that. I told you I can't pick you up before. I have a 2-year-old daughter. I can't just leave my child and pick you up. Huh? What are you saying now? Usually, you force my son to take care of your daughter. And you're making a fuss about work, aren't you? And now you use your daughter as an excuse? What are you saying? I'm working from home and taking care of my daughter at the same time. I don't force my husband to take care of her. That's a lie. If you want to raise your daughter properly, you should be a full-time housewife. You're insane if you're still working after becoming a mother. A woman is supposed to stay at home, give birth, and raise the children. I know that you hold traditional views, but in today's world, it's common for both parents to work. Women have other roles too, besides raising children. We'll take care of our daughter and work together. So please don't meddle in our family matters. Oh my God! What did you say? You make him do the child care too? Yes, we take care of our daughter together. Don't tell me you make him do the cleaning and laundry too. We share the household chores too. Steven used to work in a restaurant and he's a good cook. He cooks dinner for me when he doesn't have to work late. I have a very helpful husband and I'm so thankful for it. Jesus Christ! I'm sure he regrets having a useless wife like you from the bottom of his heart. A useless wife? Yes, it's you, a useless wife. You don't take care of your daughter. You don't do housework and you don't cook. You don't even have respect for your mother-in-law. His brother Kevin got a nice, homely, modest wife. It's so depressing that Steven is stuck with a bratty, foul-mouthed, useless wife. You and Steven should get divorced right now. I see. I'm not getting a divorce and I can't even pick you up. Please take a cab or the subway home. Whatever. I don't have a choice. I'll give you a break today. Next time, I'll thoroughly give you a lesson on how to be a good wife, so be prepared. Hey, Caroline. This morning, you suddenly showed up at our house and started going through things, right? The babysitter told me about it. What's the deal with that? I hadn't gotten the money from the last time yet, so I went to get it. But I couldn't find the cash or the wallet, so I ended up taking that designer bag from the closet. Can you please give it back? Even though you are a mother-in-law, going in without asking and taking stuff? Do you really think that's okay? Oh my God, do you think I'm a thief? Stephen gave me a spare key, you know. Giving a key means it's cool to drop by anytime, right? When we bought the house, we gave you a key, but it was meant for emergencies, not an invitation to steal stuff. I don't recall saying anything like what you said. I didn't steal. I considered it payment for the taxi fare I lent you last time. Huh? Taxi fare? Wait, are you talking about the night out with your friend? Exactly. Because you didn't come to pick me up, I had to take a taxi home. So, it's only fair to ask you for the taxi fare, right? I would have asked you directly if you were there. But since you weren't around, I reluctantly took the bag. I don't get what you're saying. I already told you I couldn't come to pick you up from the start. Here we go again. Excuse me? You said you were too busy taking care of your daughter and couldn't come pick me up. When I went to your house today, you had a sitter taking care of your daughter. What the hell is going on? I have to go to the office once a month for a meeting. That's the only day I ask the sitter to take care of my daughter. Then, why didn't you call your sitter last time? There's no reason for that. I'm your mother-in-law. You should respect me. If you get a sitter for a work meeting, you should get a sitter when I ask you to pick me up too. I don't understand your logic. Also, I heard that you said some weird things to my daughter and made her cry. What were you thinking? Oh, that. It wasn't anything weird, okay? I told her that her mom doesn't want to raise her and that she's an irresponsible mom. Why are you saying that? She's only 2 years old. I don't want to hear it from you, who leaves a 2-year-old child behind and goes to work. If you don't want to raise her, you should put her in an orphanage. How dare you? If you don't want to do that, then be a full-time housewife. You can't even take care of your own kid, even though you're the wife. I really can't stand that a woman like that is Stephen's wife. I don't care if you can't stand it. This is between our family. Important things will be decided within our family. Also, I'll talk to Stephen and change the locks on the house. I've had enough of you. Well, why don't you do as you please? Then I'll do as I please. I don't care about the bag that you took anymore. In return, please stay out of our lives. I'm sorry. I was planning to teach you how to mop as part of how to be a good wife training, but my hand slipped and I accidentally splashed a bucket of water on you. What do you mean by that? You suddenly barged into my working room and out of nowhere you threw water at me. I can't believe you did this. I changed the front door lock and haven't given a spare key to you. So, how did you manage to get in? I borrowed it from Kevin. Stephen's brother? Oh, we did give Kevin a spare key for emergencies. Kevin and his wife are also victims of your harassment, so I thought they would sympathize and cooperate. And after discussing it with Stephen, we thought it was a good idea. But somehow it turns out like this. You got completely fooled. You're so dumb. What? Kevin is my dearest son, you know. I raised him strictly because he's the eldest. He's nothing like Stephen, who disrespects his parents. Even in choosing a wife, he listened to me. finding a meek and obedient wife. Kevin and his wife would do anything for my sake. They probably staged that act to deceive you and get the spare key. What? So, Kevin was on your side from the beginning? I've been fooled. Well, having such a clever eldest son is a relief. You and Stephen should learn from them. I'll educate you until you become obedient to me. I can be very strict, you know. If you're whining over a little water, you won't be able to handle what's coming next. A wife who can't do anything isn't worth living. So, I'll drill into you the essence of being a full-time housewife. First, quit your job. With your level of intelligence, there's no job you can do at home, right? So, just quit that pointless job. I see. Okay, then. I'll fire the person who is doing that pointless job. What do you mean? Are you firing yourself? No, it's Kevin who will be fired. What? What are you talking about? Why is Kevin being fired? You don't have that kind of authority. Then, who has the authority? I'm the president of Kevin's workplace. What? Kevin got scolded for being informal with clients, and there are numerous complaints about his conflicts with superiors and colleagues. But he apparently just switched from a toxic company. When I met him off work, he seemed very kind, so I wanted to observe a bit longer, but it turns out his kindness was an act, and he didn't even know who the president of his own company was. You're Kevin's company president? That can't be true. Being a woman with a child, you shouldn't be a president. It's common sense for women to protect the home while men work outside. A company led by a woman won't succeed. We aim to eliminate such biases and discrimination and strive for gender equality, allowing people to work in a style that suits them. That's our company's stance. Personally, I have a 2-year-old daughter, so prioritizing childcare, caregiving, and other personal matters. We need highly skilled individuals who can still deliver results at work. Kevin never mentioned you are the president. My exceptionally talented son works in a company led by a woman? I can't believe it. I'm surprised that he didn't know about it either. When we spoke last time, he seemed very polite. And since I mostly work remotely, we didn't have many chances to meet at the office. But knowing the president's name is common sense, isn't it? Oh, sorry, is this another prejudice? Employees should naturally know their president's face and name. It's rude for someone at such a low level not to know, right? Sorry, I'll correct myself. Are you making fun of my son? Yes. Oh my God, stop it! I won't tolerate my son being fired. He can't be fired for such a stupid reason. What reason are you talking about? Just because I threw water at my daughter-in-law. It's stupid that my son gets fired because of that. Well, that did annoy me, but that's not the direct reason for his termination. What? I mentioned earlier that there have been complaints about Kevin's work attitude, right? In addition, what was decisive was giving the key to you. What's wrong with that? It's a matter of information leakage. He just gave the key to his mother. What information did he leak? Tell me. Well, not only the front door of our house, but you also opened the door to my working room, right? Of course. I brought a bucket of water from home to teach you a lesson. But your room was locked, causing me trouble. And I remember he gave me 2 keys, and luckily one of them was the key to your room. When I gave the key to him, I told him not to lend or give it to anyone due to confidential work information. Even though I work from home, my office is like the president's office, so there's confidential information that shouldn't leak, so I usually lock the door. Except for my 2-year-old daughter, I don't allow my family to enter my room. However, he gave the key to you, seemingly attempting to deliberately leak information. Well, he didn't know you were the president. It can't be helped, right? Do you think such an excuse is acceptable? Of course, my son did nothing wrong. That's what you think. I just called the HR department and they've sorted the things out. Unfortunately, your son has lost his job. What? He's fired just like that? The official notice will come later, but he doesn't have to work starting tomorrow, so please inform him. Your strict discipline is the reason why he ended up like this. Hold on, I can't tell him that. What will Kevin think if he finds out? If you can't say, that's fine too. The termination is confirmed, and whatever you did, it won't change anything now. It's not officially decided yet, right? I apologize for throwing water. Can you forgive me? Oh, speaking of water, thanks to you who poured a bucket of water into my office, my work PC and equipment got damaged. So, we'll be making a compensation claim on behalf of the company. What do you mean? You're demanding money? Of course. You can replace the equipment with new ones if you'd like, but some are purchased from specialized vendors, so I don't think an amateur like you can replace all of them. So, yeah, I think it'll easily exceed $10,000, but we'll calculate it officially later and send you the bill. $10,000? Oh, and please pay it all at once. There's no way I can pay for that. Then borrow money or whatever it takes to pay. Well, I'll start calculating the damages now, so... Wait a moment, please. Okay, I understand. It's about the designer bag from the other day, and you're upset, right? What? I admit it was expensive compared to the taxi fare. I got a bit greedy. I'm sorry. I'll return it, so please don't fire my son. I don't need that kind of bag anymore. I'll give it to you now, but in return, please pay the compensation properly. I'll pay. It can't be helped. But please go a bit easier on me. I can't afford to pay $10,000. Oh, and please return the spare key. And please never involve with our family ever again. Don't say such things. I'll go to your house now and apologize, so please don't fire my son. After that conversation, Caroline came to my house and apologized. However, at that moment, Stephen, who heard the incident, left work early and came home. Stephen got furious with her, and he decided to cut ties with her and told her to never get involved with us again. He also ensured that she promised to pay the full compensation for my company's equipment all at once. Since she insisted on returning the bag, I told her to sell it and use the money towards the compensation. Kevin, who got fired as expected, erupted in anger at his mother and went rampage. Caught up in the commotion, Kevin's father and wife exploded from years of stress, angrily confronted their spouses with a divorce, succeeded in kicking them out of the house. Caroline took out a loan and paid the compensation all at once. Later, when she hit a rough patch financially and tried reaching out to friends, it turned out all of them somehow sensed the trouble, yet not a single one offered any help. Now, Kevin is back in a toxic company where he used to work. Caroline is working part-time, living in an incredibly frugal life to pay off debt.
Thank you for watching. Please rate the video and subscribe to our channel. See you in the next video.
Hey, Alice. Thanks for earlier. We hadn't seen each other in 17 years. Hi, Jack. What can I do for you? You told me you'd rather marry a younger back then. What does my ex-husband, who betrayed me and eloped with my sister, want from me now? You wanted to know something about her and kept pestering me, so I gave you my number. Oh yeah, about Mia. I heard you broke up less than a year after you eloped. But what do you want from her now? That was just an excuse. No. I heard you were seen around town through word of mouth. I was hanging around where you might be living, and sure enough, there you were. Well, you had aged compared to 17 years ago, but the resemblance to the old days was still there. So, I recognized you immediately. I see you got nothing better to do. What's with the creepy stalking? I was just trying to tell you how happy I am now. I beg your pardon? I'm about to go out with a very young and pretty girl. Wow, I'm glad to know there still are some girls who likes weirdos. This girl, Erin, is a college student. She works part-time at a diner called Annie's, near the town square. Annie's? It's a famous diner around here, so you must know. Yeah, I do. Erin from Annie's. Hey, she's already cute just by her name. I know the manager there, but Erin's still in high school. What? But the regular customer told me that the manager's daughter is a college student. She is his niece. His daughter's been away for college outside of the state since 2 years ago. Also, she was living in a student dorm in high school, so I don't think you guys have ever met. Oh. By the way, Erin's dad also works at the diner. Seriously? And he's younger than you. No way. You know, before you turn into a creepy pedophile, I suggest you stop going there. Her dad is younger than me? You should be glad to find out before you make a huge mistake. Ugh.
It's as simple as not wanting to tell you anything.
Why not?
What's the point of explaining my current status to a traitor? But since it seems to be even more of a problem if I don't tell you, I'll tell you as much as I can about my 17 years.
Okay.
Well, look at this first. A photo.
What's this? Why are you wearing a gown?
It's my college graduation photo.
Wait, you're a high school grad, just like me.
I enrolled in a college after our divorce. I wanted to study more.
That's kind of lame, isn't it? You went to college after I left you?
What I did after you left me is none of your business. Thanks to that, I found my calling and was able to apply it to my current job. And most importantly, I met my husband.
Oh, come on, you don't have one.
Here's the next one. A photo.
What are these?
Our wedding rings.
No.
The design of these rings is clearly different from the ones we had, so you understand that they were purchased on a different occasion, right?
Are you serious?
Look at this next. Photo. This is my husband and our boy.
No way.
I don't want to give away their identity, so it's the one taken from the side a few years ago. As you can see, I've already remarried, and we have a child. My husband encourages me to work, which is one of the sources of my happiness. And he is very supportive towards me. I have a good relationship with my in-laws too.
You're really married?
Yep, I love my life now.
Then, why do you have a studio apartment? Is it a secret affair pad where you bring different men behind your husband's back? If that's the case, I can take up the part.
You've already become a creepy, delusional old man, you know?
What do you mean?
Listen, don't you know that service apartment?
And?
I happened to be in my hometown for a month or so on a business trip, but my parents' house is long gone. I thought it would be more convenient to stay in a service apartment than in a hotel so I can cook for myself. I decided to stay there after consulting with my work.
A business trip?
Yes, this is the end of the story of my 17 years. That's all you need to know.
Yeah, but...
Conclusion? You have already exited my life story.
Wait.
So long.
Alice, come on.
What?
Just for the duration of your business trip, let me stay with you.
What the heck?
I got no place to live. Let me stay. I will please you at night in return.
That's gross. My business trip ended the day before yesterday, and I'm already back home. There's no one in that room right now.
Oh shoot. You said the trip was for a month.
Right. The month ended 2 days ago.
Oh, seriously?
By the way, I heard you bothered Mia before you came to me. I contacted her to give her a heads up, and she told me you already reached out to her. You thought she was still single too. You told her that the woman you had lived with for over 10 years had left you and that you would get back together with her in exchange for her financial support. Her preteen son stood in between and turned you away, right?
You know that much?
She didn't think you'd come to me. She apologized for not giving me a warning.
Wait, you guys made up. The sisters who were battling it out over me.
It kind of pisses me off to hear you say that, but when you left her less than a year after eloping, she realized a lot of things. She went to our late parents and apologized sincerely. I was already out of their house, so we never saw each other in person. She called me to admit her mistakes and apologized again and again. If you ask me if that patched up our relationship back to normal, it's hard to say yes. We do keep in touch though, for seasonal greetings, weddings, funerals, and stuff.
Seriously?
So that's it. This is the last time for real. Don't get involved with us anymore. Alice, I don't have a place to live. I don't care. Alice! Goodbye! A few days later, I received a call from Jack's brother. The house of Jack's late parents, which is currently in his brother's name, is far away. He sold all the belongings he had at the time he contacted me, and raised money for transportation to get back there. When he finally arrived, he was in shambles. His brother was disgusted by the creepy details told to him in tears. He immediately asked a company he knew for help, and the next morning, he grabbed Jack by the neck and threw him into the employee housing. Jack, who had no idea what was going on, found a place to live and work. He was told by his brother to refund $30,000 in alimony that he had covered for him 17 years ago. Currently, he's going through vigorous training to toughen up under the guidance of his supervisors. What's going on, Emma? I haven't been able to reach my dad or brother, so I'm contacting you instead. If you know anything, can you let me know? Hey, Isla, you're back. Did you have fun on your trip? Never mind my trip. Everything in the house except for my stuff is gone. What happened? Well, it's just as you see it. We moved out while you were away. Really? Where on earth did you move to? I can't tell you. Why not? It's a tough heart-clenching measure to encourage your independence. Heart-clenching measure? You're almost 30. Stop relying on your family already. Get a job. Start living on your own money, okay? You better start looking for a job tomorrow and try to survive on your own. Okay. By the sound of it, I'm not sure you realize the seriousness yet. You know, it's already been 5 years since your mother passed away. Your father, Sean, and I have no intention of taking care of you at all. I very well know that, but... Ow! You sound so confident. Well, it's better than you cling to us. The lease expires in 3 months there. I've already taken care of the termination of the lease, so you'll have to find a place to live and move out in the meantime. I got it. Then, can I ask you one last thing? What is it? I don't work for a company, but I do have a job. Oh, please. I've been putting some money in the house, but I don't have to do so anymore, right? You don't need to try and make yourself look good at this point. Please do as you wish. All 3 of us will be changing our phone numbers and email addresses. You won't be able to contact us. Sure. So this is your reaction. Wow. I hope you understand what it means to be cut off from your family from now on. Isla, it's me, Emma. Oh, it's your new number. It's been a while. Where are you now? I've moved since then, and I'm living in an apartment. Oh no, you've already moved out? Of course, a 4-bedroom house was too big for one person. By the way, the landlord's son and his wife are going to renovate the house and move in. That's not good. Why? Do you want to move back in? Your father, Sean, and I are in front of it right now. But I don't have the key anymore, and you're not here either. So, you got a job? Is that why you left? I told you I've been working all this time. But your father and Sean always complained that you didn't want to work but just stay in your room all day. That's why I suggested we take the plunge and move out. More importantly, it was a good chance to get out of the old house. Oh, I see. It was indeed an Asian house. But you know what? There's only one thing that's different now.
With the money saved from paying your expenses, we rented a slightly nicer property. And yet, the balance in our savings is going down at an alarming rate, and I'm afraid we won't be able to pay the rent anymore. Something's weird.
Well, of course. I've been putting money into the family savings, so you all have been able to get by.
How can an unemployed person do that?
I work freelance, so...
Freelance?
I mean, my room was my workplace. My dad, Chan, and you didn't want to believe me, but I've been making a good income. When we lived together, I was putting $2,000 a month into the family account.
2,000?
That's what my mom earned before she died, and I took over. Since that money is gone, of course, the balance will decrease faster.
Oh God.
The account history should show you all the money I had deposited, but you didn't notice it all along. By the way, is Sean still working as a temp? Is he really going to work?
Oh well, that's...
I guess he thought he was better than me, so he always looked down at me. My dad spends like a madman and can't save a penny. Your move must cost you a lot too. With my brother's meager income and my dad's social security, I'm sure you'll be in red from now on.
Where do you live now?
I won't tell you. You've cut ties with me, haven't you? Well, so long. My brother and his wife thought they could afford to live comfortably on my father's retirement savings. However, my father's spending habits has always been extravagant, especially after my mother's death. More than half of her life insurance was used to pay off his debts. In such a situation, I was putting in $2,000 a month for them to make ends meet. The punishment I received from my oblivious family was for them to move out without telling me. According to the relative who know the situation, my sister-in-law is constantly fighting with my father and brother, and divorce seems to be just a matter of time. I, on the other hand, took the plunge and changed both my phone number and email, which made me feel so much better. The amount of money I can save has increased, and I'm enjoying my work and life.
Thank you for watching. Please rate the video and subscribe to our channel. See you in the next video.
Is your work finished yet? Sarah and I are hungry and waiting for you. Jessica, don't ignore me. I'm sorry, I've got to work late today and won't be home for a while. Could you please have dinner with Sarah without me? What? Who do you think you are? Huh? Who do you think allows you to stay in this house? What do you mean by who allows? It's because of me. I accept you as a daughter even though we're not blood related. I'm letting you stay here. You should at least prepare dinner for your mother and sister. Finish your work right now and make dinner for us. But I work full-time. I contribute money to the family every month. So what? You've been a housewife and stayed at home all the time. And Sarah has been doing part-time jobs after graduating from college, right? What does that have to do with anything? I just thought that since both of you have more free time than me, maybe you could prepare meals, you know? What? Don't act so high and mighty just because you contribute a mere $1,800. A mere $1,800? Yes, that's right. I actually want you to contribute more, but I've kept it at $1,800 because I pity you. I think $1,800 is quite a lot, though. It's not nearly enough. We're struggling financially every month. Really? Then how about asking Sarah to work more? What?
Sarah only works 2 or 3 days a week and for a short time. Maybe she could get more part-time jobs. Then Sarah can contribute money too. I think it's a good idea.
Seriously? Why are you so selfish? I don't remember raising you like that.
What?
Sarah can't work long hours because she's physically weak. You, on the other hand, have always been healthy and rarely catch a cold. You could work 24 hours a day without any problem.
I'm not a robot, Mom.
You're tougher than a robot because you don't break, no matter what I do.
That's a horrible thing to say.
I'm saying don't complain and keep earning money.
Hey, listen. Sarah goes out with friends almost every night. Sometimes she doesn't come back until morning, right? I don't know about her health situation before, but at least now, I don't think she's physically weak, you know?
What? Are you saying Sarah shouldn't go out with friends?
I'm not saying that.
Sarah is so pretty and sociable, so she has a busy social life. On the other hand, you're ugly and introverted nerd. You don't have any friends to go out with, right?
What?
Since you don't hang out with friends, I'm suggesting that you should put in more money into the house. I won't allow you to be selfish.
Is this considered selfish?
What else would you call it?
Here you go again. You always change the subject like that, but let me say this at this point. I can't keep contributing $1,800 like this forever.
What? Seriously? After everything I've done for you, how can you talk like that?
When I was in elementary school, my biological dad married you. You accepted me as your daughter, even though we're not blood related. I'm still grateful for that. For 13 years since graduating from college, I've been putting $1,800 into the house every month, as you wanted. But since Dad passed away in an accident, you only cared about your biological daughter, Sarah. You never really treated me like family. All the household chores fall on me, while you and Sarah have fun outside. When you say I raised you, it just feels like you're trying to score points. Honestly, I don't have any memories of being raised by you.
I can't believe how disrespectful you are. When your dad passed away, I could have kicked you out of the house at that time. But since you were still in high school, I reluctantly let you stay. It only makes sense that you contribute to the household chores for me and Sarah.
I think I've done enough for you, but I want to start thinking about my own future. I want you to think about taking care of things by yourself instead of depending on me all the time.
What did you say? Are you saying you don't want to contribute money for us?
I didn't say I didn't want to. I just want you to stop relying solely on my money. Sarah is already 25 years old, so I think it's time for her to become independent for her own sake.
Listen, Jessica. I'm your mother who raised a failure like you without giving up on you. Now, I'm letting you repay that favor. If you have time to complain, shut up and put some money in my account to show your gratitude.
Are you serious? So you're just going to let Sarah like this?
What do you mean, like this? Hanging out with friends is also a great social study.
You are spoiling her too much.
Shut up. You're just jealous of Sarah, aren't you?
Why should I be jealous of her?
Sarah is so adorable and everybody loves her. But you're so cocky, nobody likes you. Learn a bit from Sarah.
I don't want you to think I'm adorable when I'm over 30.
See? You're being cocky again. That's it. You should put more money this month.
What? What is this all of a sudden?
Tomorrow's payday, isn't it?
Yes, but...
Stop by the ATM on your way back from work. Withdraw $2,500 and bring it to me.
$2,500? Not $1,800?
What are you surprised about? Prices are getting higher these days. $2,500 is a small price to pay. No. I can't afford $2,500. You're a full-time employee. You should have that much to spare, right? Even $1,800 is tight for me. $2,500 is impossible. Don't talk back to me. Instead, come back home now and prepare dinner. I told you I'm still at work. You two are already at home, so just prepare dinner yourselves. I don't want to hear any excuses. If you truly understand your position, listen to what I say obediently. See you later. Wait, Mom? I won't be home until 9 p.m. Jessica, you came back home so late yesterday. We had to eat canned food for dinner. But I messaged you, didn't I? I said I can't come home until 9 p.m. due to overtime. Why do you have to work so late? You're not very good at what you do, are you? What? It's not like that. It's because it's a busy season at work and everyone has to stay late. Oh, really? Maybe you were pretending to work late and just hanging out somewhere. If you don't believe me, you can confirm with my colleagues. If you knew you'd be late, you should have bought food on your way home. I never thought you were waiting for me. Honestly, you're so useless. What? You made my precious daughter Sarah eat canned foods. If she gets sick, are you going to take responsibility? If you don't like canned foods, you should cook something yourselves. Shut up. Come home early this time and prepare dinner for us. Fine. And today is your payday, so give me $2,500. No, that's impossible. I have my own expenses too. Stop lying. You don't even go outside except for work. I have my own personal life too. But you're single and living with us. What on earth do you spend money on? Starting this month, make sure to contribute $2,500. If you can't do that, I have my own ideas. Why do you keep trying to force your decisions on me? I have my own life, so I'm not giving you any more money. That's enough. I'm sure your dad in heaven is disappointed in you, thinking about how ungrateful you are. I don't think so. On the other hand, I'm sure Dad is thinking about how arrogant you are. Shut up. As long as you're in this house, you have to obey what I say. Stop talking back to me. When you come home today, make sure you give me $2,500. Got it? Jessica, where are you now? Jessica, answer me. Good morning, Mom. It's not a good morning to me. When I woke up, you weren't there, and neither Sarah nor I had breakfast yet. Today is Saturday, and I have a day off from work, so I've been out all morning. What? Who do you think you are? Going out without saying a word to your mother? Both you and Sarah were asleep. I thought it would be rude to wake you up. What about our breakfast? I'm sure there's plenty of food in the fridge, so why don't you two just eat whatever you want? Stop disrespecting me. What? You skipped out on making us food, and on top of that, you broke your promise. Promise? Don't play dumb. When I looked at the envelope you handed me yesterday, there was only $1,800 inside. I told you to give me $2,500. You know what? I don't recall agreeing to $2,500 per month, so please give me a break. I'm the one who needs a break. You're the one who broke the promise. I told you I didn't agree to it. I've already thought about the penalty if you don't give $2,500. Huh? Penalty? I've already made the arrangements, so it's too late to regret now. I don't understand what you're talking about,
but $1,800 is still a lot. And I won't give more even if you ask for it.
Jessica, get out of my house.
What? What's this all of a sudden?
It's the penalty for not putting in the money properly.
Oh, you mean that penalty we were talking about the other day?
That's right. It was decided at the family meeting to kick you out.
Family meeting? You mean a meeting with Sarah? I don't think I was there during the family meeting.
Of course. It wouldn't make sense to decide your fate if you were there. In the first place, you're not family anymore.
I'm not family, huh?
That's right. You're just an outsider after all, but I'm kind enough to give you a chance.
A chance?
If you want to stay in the house, give me $4,000 every month.
What? You said $2,500 the other day, and now it's suddenly $4,000? That's a big increase.
It's your fault for breaking the promise.
I don't remember making such a promise. Why do you need $4,000 in the first place?
The more money, the better, obviously.
What are you going to spend it on?
That doesn't matter at all. It has nothing to do with you as an outsider.
I see. You're planning to use it for Sarah's allowance anyway, right?
If you agree to give us $4,000 per month, I'll let you stay and we can continue being a family. If you don't want to be alone, you have to do as I say, okay?
$4,000 is just too much.
If you can't afford it with your salary alone, get a part-time job or something and earn $4,000. Without your dad, you'll end up alone for life if I abandon you. I'll give you 5 days to think it over. Jessica, it seems like you are going out again on Sunday. Lately, you've been frequently leaving the house, huh?
Oh, hey, did you just wake up by any chance? I prepared breakfast properly today before leaving. Have it with Sarah.
Instead of that, you didn't end up giving us the $4,000, huh? Normally, I'd say get out of the house by now, but I've decided to show mercy and wait for an additional 2 days. So, if you want to continue living in this house...
Oh, about that?
Now what? Did you finally agree to the monthly $4,000? That's good. It must be lonely to live apart from us, right? You have no choice but to agree.
If I don't agree, I have to move out, right?
Yeah.
Well, I won't go easy on you either.
What do you mean? I know you are paying $4,000 because you don't want to leave home, right?
I won't pay.
What?
I won't pay $4,000.
Are you serious? You don't care if you get kicked out?
Before I get kicked out, I'm moving out.
What? Are you dumb? Are you okay with being all alone?
I've been wanting to leave this house for a long time, but with work and chores keeping me busy, I couldn't find the right time to leave. I ended up continuing to live here even though I'm now a working adult. But thanks to your stupid request, it became a good opportunity for me to move out.
Hold on. Jessica, are you serious?
Yes, I'm serious.
Are you okay with losing your family?
Family? Whose family?
Your family. You have your mother and your sister, right?
What? You said I'm an outsider. You might not have noticed, but I've been moving my stuff out little by little. I'm ready to move into my new house today. I won't be going back to your house today.
Jessica?
Thank you for taking care of me for a long time. Now you can live happily with Sarah.
But...
What?
What about the money?
Money?
You were putting in $1,800 every month, right? Even if you leave the house, you'll still put in money every month, right?
There's no way I'll do that.
Huh?
Why would I put money into a house I don't live in, right?
But there's nothing wrong with sending money to your mother.
You're not my mother, so I don't need to send money to you.
I raised you all this time.
As I've said before, I don't remember being raised by you. I've been covering my living expenses and tuition with Dad's inheritance and my part-time job. I don't owe you anything.
But you will be alone forever. You're fine with that? If you don't bring money into the house, we'll cut ties with you.
Go ahead. I mean, I won't be alone.
What?
I'm getting married.
Married?
I've been dating my colleague for several years. He proposed to me 6 months ago, so we plan to live together in our new home.
What? I haven't heard anything about that.
Yeah, of course, I didn't tell you.
Why didn't you tell me such an important thing?
Because we are not family, that's why.
But...
Well, I have to start organizing the new home now. Goodbye.
Wait, Jessica. Hey, I'll be in trouble if I don't get your financial support. Jessica, you're so ugly, but you're getting married before Sarah? And getting married without telling me? How disrespectful you are. That's it. I'm really going to cut off ties with you. Jessica, please pick up the phone. Please.
What's wrong, Mom? Oh, I forgot that you are not my mom anymore.
Whatever. I don't care about that now. I have a favor to ask you.
I thought you cut off ties with me. What do you want now?
I need your help.
What help?
I'm about to be evicted from my house.
What? Really? You're behind on your rent?
Yeah, I don't have money to pay rent. There's nothing I can do about it.
I see, then I guess you'll just have to leave the house.
You should pay.
What? Why do I need to pay?
Because you don't support us financially, I can't pay the rent anymore.
What? No, I had nothing to do with it. I don't even live there anymore.
Don't say that, please. Help us. We're really broke.
Don't tell me you still don't have a job?
I tried, but it didn't work out. Sarah tried to get a full-time job too, but no one would hire her, so she went back to working part-time. I've only ever been a housewife. I couldn't even find a part-time job. Please, Jessica, just give me $1,800 like you did before. Or how about $1,500? Will you put some money into my house?
At one time, you were asking for $4,000, but now you are asking for a surprisingly lower amount.
You'll give me $1,500, right?
No way. You and Sarah took a lot of money from me and used me for your own ends. You should taste how hard it is to make money.
Shut up. Pay back the favor I've done for you by raising you.
Are you serious?
I'll consider you as a family again. Just tell me where your new house is.
I won't tell you.
Why not?
If I tell you, you'll storm in, right?
I won't do that.
Well, I'm busy, so I have to go.
Wait, we have nowhere to go. We only have $50.
I don't know.
Please.
Goodbye, former mom.
Jessica, I apologize for what I've done. Don't abandon us.
In the end, the two were evicted from the house because they couldn't pay the rent. It seems they are staying in a shelter and working day jobs to make ends meet. Sarah, who used to splurge with my money, is now complaining that she can't afford new makeup or clothes. However, it seems she finally got an earful from her mother and is now working a regular job. As for me, I'm happily living in a new home with my husband. They are still trying to find out where I live, but of course, I have no intention of telling them. And just to be sure, I moved to a fully secured apartment, so I don't have to worry about the possibility of them barging in. As I have not been blessed with a family in the past, I'm looking forward to building a loving family with my husband.
Thank you for watching. Please rate the video and subscribe to our channel. See you in the next video.